Hey guys!
Hi!
Welcome to our weekly Facebook Live. I'm Kathy Santo, and I'm here with Nancy.
Hi!
And Lauren.
Hi!
And we have a super hot, awesome topic for you today, and it is the top 10 things from
People said that how excited they were for this topic.
Really?
Yeah, and how many people were like, I'm so excited, I'm going to show this to all these people, and so
we have lots of
apparently a hot
ideas.
topic.
And I think that, well, we've all had shelter dogs.
Yes.
And when I started out, I didn't know any of these. I found them out the hard way. So we want you to learn from our educational experiences with shelter dogs so you can make a better educated decision about the dog that you're going to share your life with. Because really, this is for you, but it's also for the dog. Because we want your dog that you choose to be a forever dog. We don't want it to go back to the shelter.
And so does the shelter, so.
Right. And also, can we just put it out there? When we say shelter, hear in your mind rescue dogs too, from rescue groups. Okay.
Yes.
So we're not just talking about brick and mortar shelters. We mean rescue groups as well. But when we say shelters and or rescue groups, it gets a bit cumbersome and we get sick of hearing
Right, it's
ourselves.
the same thing.
Yes.
It's right. And I've had both. You too?
Yeah.
I've only had rescues.
We'll get you a
I've had
shelter dog one day. We'll
Yeah,
do
no,
it the right way.
It's just been a rescue.
That could be a video. Taking Lauren to the shelter and picking your next dog. That'd be awesome.
I don't want to do
It's sad and you're going to leave with all the
It's that bad? I don't
Lots
want
of editing.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to start. And my first number one tip to you is make a wish list before you go. And you have to say, I want this size, I want this energy level. And you look at your lifestyle and you look at the things that you're willing to compromise on, as well as like the length of coat, right? So if you say, I'm not going to bring my dog to the groomer every 6 weeks for a haircut, you have to know that. And then when you go to the shelter, you have to make sure that you don't look at any dogs that look like that, because you made a wish list when you were sane. You were home, you were reasonable, and then you go to the shelter and things change because you see all those dogs, those little faces. I mean, I can hear that song in the, what is it, The Arms of an Angel?
I don't want to talk about
right?
it. Every time it comes on, I have to shut it off. I'm like,
Nope. So then your resolve falls apart. And really, it's not good for you to take the one that doesn't meet any of your criteria, because you have to live with this dog 12 to 15 years. Think about this. This is a 12 to 15-year commitment. It's like a really good marriage, right? And if it's not working for you, if you have things that you have to change in your life because of it that you didn't want to change, you're not going to be happy. And it probably isn't going to work. And we've seen dogs go back. Too high energy, too low energy, just things like that. So get your wish list and go.
And that's important because, personal story, I went to a shelter with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, and they were getting a dog. I didn't even want a dog. I was just going as a friend, moral support. And
that's where they get you.
There was, I went to one of them out in Long Island, so big shelter, lots of dogs, lots of people. Yep. All super cute, wanting dogs, and they were going like hotcakes. Well, all of a sudden, guess what? I had to have one. It was like a fire sale. So you don't want to do that. Think it through before you go.
Right, it's a big responsibility.
Yes, it is.
It is life altering, and we know you want a dog. Let's do the right thing. Let's get a wish list. You say you want an adult dog. Let's say you're like, I don't want to go to the puppy stuff, right? It's not my lifestyle. I work all the time, blah, blah, blah. And then you go there and you see the most adorable puppy. Don't do it.
Right.
You know you can't handle a puppy. That puppy, it deserves to go to a home with someone who can handle a puppy.
Right. And you said in the beginning you wanted an adult dog, probably so you didn't have to deal with the puppy stages and all that stuff. So
that's when
don't
you
do
were
it to yourself.
Yeah. When you got to the shelter, you stopped thinking and you were just like, so cute, I have to have that.
Right.
Yeah, you were thinking with your heart.
It grows and
don't do that.
And not your head. Think
Right.
with your head.
With your head.
Be reasonable, people. And call us if you get in a pickle. I'll be like, don't do it.
Yeah.
We've had those calls before. I've had a text from somebody saying, I'm at the shelter and oh my God, I just have to have
turn around.
Exactly. No, I'll be over it. Go do a thing. Go sign
Put us
anything.
on your, what is that, speed dial?
Speed dial.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Something.
No.
You know what we
Siri,
do.
just like call us.
Yes, call us. It's important.
All right, what do you have, Nance?
Well, that goes with my point that don't go to the shelter with your family or significant other.
Wait,
I don't know
people
about-
right now are falling over right now.
I know.
Because they're like, what?
I might go. I would go with my husband if it was well planned out. But the reason being is, and I brought my daughter, Big mistake. 'Cause she
Huge.
wanted every single dog. And they talk you into it, and then you start to get off of your list,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're going to be walking out the door with a dog that is not right for your family. It's just really important if you make the decision and you can go by yourself to kind of take a look. And if the
Scope
dog
out the
doesn't
lay of the
stay,
land.
it wasn't meant to be. It truly wasn't.
I
It's not a
totally
fire
believe
sale.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, you just have to be rational and reasonable.
Yes.
And you know what? I want to say that we live in the trenches, okay?
Mhm.
We every day, every week, see tons of dogs that were rescued and from shelters and from breeders.
Yeah.
And it's not the right fit.
No.
And the people say to us, we didn't sign up for this, an anxious dog, an aggressive dog, or whatever dog.
Mhm.
And we are entrusted to fix it best we can with the dogs that we have. So we want you to have a really awesome experience. And it has to get that way for the dog as well, because it's no fun for the dog who knows you don't want it,
Mhm.
you know, and you can't control it, or it's something you're financially not able to work through. So be really smart about this. And we're not trying to, I guess we are. We're taking all the fun and hearts and flowers
No, we're making
and rainbows.
Right. We're trying to help you.
Right, telling you the truth.
Because what happens too is then you do have a dog that once the dog is home and you're not in love with the dog anymore, you feel the guilt. It's not a good fit for the dog. It's not a good fit for you.
Right.
And then you start to feel guilty about it.
Right.
Because we don't want
Every
we don't want that
dog is going to
happen.
come with, you know, stuff you have to
Absolutely.
fix,
Something,
right?
yeah.
There's a solid list that every dog comes to the table with. They don't come, they jump, they right. But
Right.
but beyond that, everything else has to work for you. The people who went to the shelter to get a 10 to 15 pound dog and came home with a 95-pound shepherd mix,
Right.
they're going to have a hard time adjusting to that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's going to be
They're not
a
ready for
challenge.
it. Yeah.
Right.
And that kind of goes into my next
Yours,
one.
yeah.
So it's ask a shelter volunteer to help you. They know the dogs. You know, they're there every day. They know the dogs. They know their personality. So ask them. You know, say, I want this type of dog. What do you think? Or you know, I want the little Chihuahua, or I want a less energy dog. You know, ask them, and they will help you. So
Right.
And we also found out that a lot of times that's a good source, but I will also tell you that sometimes it's not a good source.
Yeah. That's true.
That goes with my story.
Right.
Yeah,
I went.
because
I was gonna say I have one too.
Yeah.
I went and they told me what I was bringing home was a golden retriever. And I was young. I went with my husband. I didn't have a plan. I did everything wrong. And I left with my golden retriever. Then I got home, did my research. It wasn't a golden retriever.
Right.
It was a pit bull.
Yeah.
Which I was not ready for a pit bull as my first dog. That was not what I went in to get.
Right.
So
Nance.
they truly,
pit bulls and golden retrievers.
it was a puppy.
That's why you have people
You
like
know,
us. So
golden
if the
mix.
volunteer says something, you know, you can say, hold on, I have
Exactly,
to call
right.
my trainer.
And
first.
everything is a mix. So I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
it'll change once it grows up a little. It was cute as could be.
But
But
you weren't ready for that. That's not what you
I was
wanted.
not ready for
Right.
that. And I wholeheartedly believed them.
Yeah.
And they really wanted me to take that dog.
And what was,
It didn't work.
did you have a story too?
Oh, I used to work at a
Oh, I know.
kennel, and there was a dog there that had been there since I had started. The rescue was able to get the dog adopted and said that the dog was younger than it actually was. By like a many a years. I'm like, this dog has been here since I started, and it's been 7 years since I've been here. So, and they were like, oh, the dog is 3. I'm like, that is not true.
Yeah.
So,
No.
you gotta be careful.
Yeah, you do. And then we'll go to this point, which is the hardest, I think. You do not want the most shy, the most hyperactive, or the most fearful dog. I got a lot from people who I took the highest one, and we're like, why? Why did you do that? And that is not to say that shy, fearful dogs shouldn't be adopted.
Right.
Oh no, they should.
Right.
But your wish list better say, I want a challenge.
Yes.
I want a project. I want to devote my life to a disabled dog so that I can make their life better. If that's on your wish list, absolutely go for it, because
Yeah.
we feel like all dogs deserve amazing homes.
Yeah.
And with people who are competent and with time-wise and money-wise able to fix the dog as much as it can be fixed. So,
Right.
but if you didn't write down on your paper, I want a really big challenge, don't do it.
that goes with the next thing that I have on mine. And if the dog does have any sign of something that you don't want, if it's aggressive or whatever, walk away.
Right.
You can walk away from that dog. You don't have to, choose that dog just because, it's cute or, it's, it has 3 legs or whatever. If this dog shows any sign of that, just walk away because you don't want that to be, your toddler who has to learn the hard way.
That's what I was going to say. If you have kids and they tell you, the dog's not great with kids, doesn't matter how cute it is, walk away.
Yeah, right. If small dogs, the dog isn't good with small dogs, and you have a cat, and they mean cats too.
Yeah. Exactly.
Again, and I really want to stress this, I believe almost every dog, except the ones that are pathologically aggressive, need a shot at a good home. And so if you're prepared for that, and it is a lifelong commitment, 12 to 15 years, remember, go ahead and get the fearful dog. Become a student of behavior and make that your challenge and do good deeds in the world. But if you're a parent with kids and that's not your lifestyle, you absolutely have to walk away. And it's so hard to do, but you have to. There's a lot of really good dogs out there who need homes, who don't come with some of these issues that we're talking about.
But there is that one person who is going to say, I'm committed. I want to do this. I want that dog, and I'm going to do it. And let that person take it.
I did that.
Don't let that be you.
One of my first dogs was reactive aggressive, and I was like, I want to take it on. It was great. It worked. It was awesome. But I didn't have kids, and I was young, and it was.
And you knew what you were doing.
Right.
I knew what I was doing.
Or you knew
You're Kathy Santo.
Right. I was Kathy Santo.
But my pit bull story, Nikki said to me today, how would it be now if you took that dog? Fine, I know what to do now.
Nancy wants a pit bull.
Oh, and then I said, I wouldn't take it.
I was like,
you wouldn't take that dog.
Yeah, I wouldn't have taken it because I would have known it wasn't a golden retriever.
And I would take on a challenging dog, but not now. Because the way my life is now, I have my dogs and blah, 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 and that's not where my life is. But could I train one? Absolutely. Is it the right time? No, and that wouldn't be fair to the dog.
Don't judge a dog by its cover. Get it? Don't judge a book by its cover. That is so true.
For people,
right? It's not a beauty contest. It's a companion search, right? So don't be like, I need the most gorgeous dog or the cutest dog. Your dog might be a little quirky looking, but that's okay, right? You want the dog that is going to fit into your lifestyle and be the best dog with you.
I feel like it's like if you're going to go, like when you go and buy a car, like you don't just go by, you go by it looks, but you also have to know like how it runs, right? You want to make sure that you know how it works. How do you drive it, I feel like it's
what about like when you're dating?
It's not
dating, exactly like dating. There's this gorgeous guy.
And that's who you go for, and then it turns out to be
that's not
jerk.
the one that you should be with. You should be with the one that has a little, I don't know, something.
You know him on the inside, not just on the outside.
Exactly, and that's who.
I have nothing to contribute to this conversation. I met my husband at 17. He's my first boyfriend. We got married. That's the end of the story.
I could talk about this for days.
Yeah.
Lauren's going to do a seminar.
I can do a whole seminar on this. Don't worry.
But we don't care. It's not Westminster. Like, you want a dog to put in a dog show, that's a whole different topic. But I care about who they are on the inside.
Absolutely.
You know what, Lauren, before we go on, why don't you say, look, because we're far away, we can't see a thing.
Sure.
See who's up there saying hi to us.
So let's see. Well, Brittany was talking about Gunner.
What did she say? Because we didn't introduce her.
She said, Gunner.
Oh yeah, Gunner's with us. It's our friend Kathy's dog.
Yeah. And then Joanne Reen with Sherlock. She said, hi, Nancy.
Hi, Joanne.
She said, couldn't agree more. I'm not sure what we were talking about. I do home visits for several rescue groups. Families sometimes don't understand why they may not be the best fit for a specific dog or breed.
Correct.
And she has a good-looking dog, Joanne.
Yeah, but he has a great personality, though, too. He's a great dog.
Hello.
Yeah, and so, again, that's the point.
Yeah.
If they're awesomely beautiful, get to know them.
Right, exactly.
I knew a girl in high school like that. She was beautiful, but
not so nice.
A little witchy. Yeah, okay. Listen to your gut. So here's the thing. Every student that we've met who's either been bitten by their dog or by somebody else's dog or had an experience before they chose their dog who is now living with a dog that they feel like is not the right fit, they all say the same thing. I have a bad feeling.
Yes.
Always
That's
want to
like
go with your
dating
gut.
too.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
all the
I was
same.
gonna say it's like dog training, but yes, we can say it's like dating.
So
You know,
you
you have that bad feeling. Don't do
Right.
it. You know
Yeah.
your body. You know, if you don't feel comfortable.
Gut.
Right.
Even if your kids are like, oh, we have to have it.
No.
That's why you don't bring them with you.
Yeah, mute.
Don't talk to your kids.
Not on your first visit.
No, they can pick out the choice. Yeah, you want to listen to you because ultimately, whose responsibility is it going to be if it goes wrong?
Right.
Yours. If the dog bites someone, if the dog is phobic of life, if the dog doesn't love kids.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me. Sometimes you hear people in dogs, not us, say he just needs love. There's an issue, but he just needs love. And we like to think about people who have behavior issues, and we think that love doesn't solve anything.
Right.
Maybe a little bit, but counseling helps.
Right.
Behavior modification counts, right? That'll help.
Yeah.
But you can't just and then see. Sometimes it happens with dogs who are a little bit aggressive, reactive, whatever.
Mhm.
And when people hear love, they say, "Oh, I should just give my dog free run of the house and 50 million toys and let it be on the couch, and I will love him into not growling." And actually, when you do that, you love
Makes
him
it
into
worse.
more growling.
Right.
Yeah.
It just makes it worse.
So we're not going to do that. All right, who's next? Is it yours?
Yes, I can go. Look at more than one shelter. So you are shopping for a dog. You're shopping. You're going to the rescue. You're picking out what you want. Obviously, if you go and you fall in love and it's everything that's on your list, and go for it. Get that dog. But it's a big commitment, like Kathy keeps saying. It's a big responsibility. 10 to 15 years you're going to have this dog for. So shop around. Go to more than one rescue. There's hundreds of rescues in the area. You don't want to just go one and done. It's like you're making a really big commitment. So I would shop around.
Yeah, and you know what? Don't be pressured into people saying, well, if I don't adopt him, we've heard this too. Some students have gotten dogs and they said, well, we decided on it. We weren't really sure, but they said it's going to be euthanized tomorrow. Really?
Yeah. If you say you're interested,
I put down a deposit, go home and think about it, and then bring my family the next day, or go to another shelter, or you know what I mean? It sounds like we're being not heart. Is it a little not compassionate? It sounds like a little heartless. I keep shopping for it, but I'm telling you, people, we've done this for decades. Mm-hmm. We know what it's like when people get the wrong dog, and it might be a great dog, but the wrong fit for them. We see that all the time.
Exactly.
Awesome dogs in families that are not prepared.
No.
Right. And it's nothing wrong with the dog. And then what happens is the dog will get left out of the family. It'll get sent to somebody else. It's just, you don't want to do it. So make this commitment to yourself and to your dog.
And we've rehomed dogs in
Yeah.
a very situation,
Multiple,
and they're very happy in their new homes.
Yeah.
And
They get like new life.
yeah.
Like Brittany's.
Exactly.
The corgi was in the wrong family. It was too much for them.
It's too much.
And this dog for Brittany is the perfect dog. Like you couldn't pick
Right,
more
but she
perfect
was
dog.
ready to take on that kind of dog. She
Mhm.
knew what she was getting herself into. She was in a good spot to take that dog, and
She had us.
Brittany said,
Mellow.
"Mellow."
Yeah, Mellow's awesome. So
She is.
there we go. What do you
All
have?
right. So I have narrow your search to 2 or 3 dogs, and then have a professional trainer or behavioralist evaluate the temperament and personality of the dog. And that's so important.
Here we are.
Exactly.
Right.
But it's important. Like, I'm not a mechanic, right? So if I'm going to buy a used car, I'm not going to be the one to know, is this car a good car, right? I would take it to see somebody who knows what they're doing.
Mhm.
And
It's like you get a home inspection before you buy a home.
exactly, right. And there's a funny point. So a lot of your friends will say, oh, I know dogs, I love dogs. And this reminds me of what you always said.
Yeah, I've had teeth all my life. I'm not a dentist.
Exactly. So it really doesn't matter. You need somebody who can look at the dog and do the temperament and personality test so that you know 100% what you're getting.
I mean, and still, we can do a temperament test on a dog, and in 3 weeks at the home, it opens up like a flower.
Yes.
Maybe there's other things, but we can tell you red flags.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
can definitely dig out the red flags
Mhm.
and say, maybe this isn't going to be
Right.
a great relationship for you or the dog.
Yep.
And again, I love how we're de-romanticizing this whole thing, but we want you to be careful.
And we don't want to make it a bad experience. We just want to make sure that you're prepared.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what you're
And
getting
it can be
yourself
a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
But do your research and ask for help.
into.
Right. And like I said, you
Ask
have
for help.
You want to take on a dog with aggression or fear, we are like, oh man, that's awesome. And we can help you. Just be sure that that's what you're prepared for. And that's what you're getting.
Yeah.
My last tip is make a donation. I would feel really strongly about this. If you go to a shelter and you don't choose one of their dogs, or you go to a rescue group, I would love to see you still give them whatever you can afford as a donation, because these people are like walking angels on earth. You know what they have to deal with? They have this incredible love for dogs, and it's very stressful. And the fact that they have to match the people, I mean, you're like auditioning the dog, but they're auditioning you.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
they don't want to make a bad match either.
Yep.
So you might get annoyed by their questions and do you have a fence and all that
Yes,
stuff.
very
But you know
thorough.
what? That's a good rescue group.
Right. You want somebody that's going to ask you all those questions.
Right. And we know a bunch of good rescue groups. If you're ever interested, you can ask us.
Yeah.
But I really want you to consider making a donation. We raise money every couple months. We have a little work because they're not making money on this. Trust me, and they need your support as well. So those are our 10 best tips. And if you forget any of them, guess what? In the comments, there is a link and you can get a download of this. And it's really awesome.
Yeah.
Brittany, once again,
she
made an amazing, she took all my words and put it into, you can see.
There you go.
There,
I
there you
thought
go.
this was like from a magazine.
No, these are my awesome words.
Yeah. Nice.
But
Right.
Brittany,
Let me have a copy for my
Nancy can have a copy. You can have a copy too.
Okay.
But in the meantime, we will be back next week. This is actually a 3-part series. Did you know that? It's a 3-part series on rescue dogs. And it's picking and training and all the awesome stuff that goes with it. So part 2 is next week.
Nice.
In the meantime, we'd love you to like our page, to follow our page, and to share it with your friends, as well as share the video with your friends. Now, if you're a student in the Jersey school and you are not a member of our closed student group, leave us your email or just mention it in the comments, and we'll private message you with a link to that super special group where we share awesome tips and tricks and dog training life hacks. It really is.
Yeah.
Now, if you are not a student, or if you are a student but you have family and friends who wants to join us, we have a group for you, and it is called the Free Dog Training Group, the Kathy Santo Free Dog Training Group. And I think Britt will put a link in there. So that would be for people who are not in our school. Maybe you live in Florida. Maybe you live in the UK. Yeah, UK. And those people can join that group. So you can get more of us, more of the training side of us, versus some of the fun stuff we do on the main page. So there you go. If you have any questions, send us a note. We'd love to hear from you. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.